Hi everyone, welcome to Entrepreneur Insight Straight Talk. This episode, we are very lucky to have Kent Chua to be with us. Of course, Kent Chua is the co-founder for Rhombus Connection. And of course, under Rhombus Connection, they have 10 brands. And among other will be The Beer Factory, Susie Wong, and Thai Ho Sik. Welcome to the show, Ken.
Hi, KK. Thanks for having me.
Hey, no problem. Ken, just share with us under your group, how is the impact of this COVID-19 to you all and to our economy as a whole? What is your take on that?
What the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, has declared that we are in a global recession right now.
Yeah.
But for us, we are optimistic in the manner that we think that there's going to be a sizable rebound. We foresee an upward curve, but of course, provided the virus is contained. That's why I think this whole stay home part is very important for everyone to play their role. I think the state that we're in is we're like in the advanced level in the game of life. It's either you live or you die. I think 2020 is an extra challenging year.
Yeah, it is. Then for you all, I mean for your group, Rhombus Connection, what are some of the measurements that you all have undertaken to mitigate the impact of COVID-19?
I think being in the F&B line, we are like the front beach house of the tsunami, So it's been terrible. We have close to zero sales. Is something we've never seen before. So I think what's important now is all about liquidity. Cash is king, whether we like it or not. So what we have done is we have actually frozen all cash outflows. We have applied for all loans that's available out there, whatever the government is helping out. And then we are reaching out to our landlords, our major suppliers to restructure or provide assistance, how we actually can work together to pull this through. Because if we were to die, they would lose a huge customers because we make purchases in the tens of millions a year.
True.
But I think what's most important now is key to over-communicate with your staffs. I think the word is really over-communication because it's just so uncertain. So what we've done is we've done videos, we've released a lot of memos, especially about COVID-19 protocol.
That's true.
What are the plans of the company? And I've just introduced something yesterday night. It's called Ask Ken Anything, where it's a link. Yeah, it's a link, so they actually can click in and anonymously. They can ask any questions that, Asian culture, right? Sometimes they're not open to speak up and ask, and they fear. So they can actually write in, so we will know from who, and then we'll address the questions in person through video. So I felt that right now they are all very confused. I think they need clarity, and I think they need a leader more than ever. Especially right now, we all know cash is very, very important. So to conserve our cash flow, I think what I really focus on communicating to them is how we all must tighten our belts. It's like a joint sacrifice as a family. So none of us have to lose their jobs. And personally, I choose to lead by example by taking a 1 ringgit salary. So it's like cross board. So yeah. On business side of things, how we are adapting, we have launched Malaysia's first Guinness draft delivery. So yeah.
How about so many roadblocks? Are you all being affected by the roadblocks?
So the good thing is because we have 30 over outlets, so we actually have a lot of distribution points. So we deliver up to 5 to 10 kilometers. So within that range, still workable. Besides that, we actually sold post MCO cash credits. So what we do is basically people pay 100 ringgit now, so we get the cash now, then you get to spend it later for 150 ringgit. So the whole idea is all about how do we build up cash right now to weather this through. So, and I think right now our finance team is actually working around the clock to rebudget our entire 2020 and 2021. Because I think what's important right now is to have a clear vision of our cash flow runway, because that's what's going to keep us alive. So now is the time to what I call prepare for the worst and hope for the best.
Yes, Ken, you were saying you have more than 30 over outlets. So all these 30 over outlets currently is operating or only partly?
Most of our outlets are actually closed, except some that we have like delivery, just like what we launched on the Guinness draft delivery. So we have a couple of 1-2 staffs that are manning the outlet from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. because of the curfew.
I see. So right now, the most delicate issue here is the employer-employee relationship. Of course, you have 300 over staff. During this MCO, some even work from home. Some jobs just couldn't be done that way lah. So how do you manage them during this period of time?
I think for us, I'll split into two parts lah, right?
Yes.
One, the HQ staff, another one is with the outlet staffs. So for the HQ staff, it wasn't much of a shock because this whole work from home arrangement, I think because of our policy, our company actually practices flexi hour and unlimited leaves. So because of this system in place, people are actually quite used to working from home as and when. The whole idea of this system is we have this thing called KP system. It's called key priorities. So every quarter, we don't have our annual appraisal. We do quarterly. Every quarter, your immediate superior needs to sit down with you and lay out the priorities for this quarter. So then basically from there, you actually are clear cut about what are you supposed to achieve at the end of the quarter. So because of this system, we actually will give you the flexibility to determine. I mean, like if you want to come to work, what time, you want to go on leave, I don't care, as long as you get your stuff done. So I think that actually helped a lot in this whole period. I think in general, a lot of people complain about staff being not proactive, need to be told off, need to be reminded like a child. But I think the whole idea is we should start treating our people like adults. So this whole system actually worked very well for us for the HQ part. The only thing we just have to communicate. On the outlet level, obviously a lot of them wouldn't be able to work at this moment. So they are actually in their hostels. So our number one priority would be their safety and their health. So which is why we do daily temperature checks. And then we also ensure that they have their meals provided for. And in the meantime, we actually do Zoom e-training with them on our 8 steps service. So that to ensure that they are being beefed up on. And besides that, also we keep close communication to ensure that people don't assume. In times like this, it's very dangerous because the outlet remain closed. They don't know whether they have a job to go back to. So as long as the communication is kept close, I thought that that's the most important part. And we're also doing fun stuff like there's all those hand washing dance. So we ask them to do it through TikTok, share with us, and then we share on our social media as well. So we're doing what we can.
Wow, that's very creative. The other thing is how will be the best way to build trust and realign all your 300 over staff to the company values. And just now you were touching a little bit on it already, reassuring them that they'll be having back their jobs and things will be well taken care of. Besides those things, what other steps that you all have undertaken?
I think going back to what I shared earlier about like our flexi hour and unlimited leave, the trust component is very important. I think times like this puts our core values to extreme test, right? So one of our core value is open and honest communication. Another one is also we are family. So this is the time that we have to demonstrate that these core values are not words on the walls. It's actually what we breathe and what we live and how we treat our people at moments of crisis like this. Sure. So for me, I don't think it's about any change moving forward, but I think that they will feel that it's not just lip service or it's what we plaster on the wall or talk on PR and corporate videos, but it's actually how through open and honest communication, it solves a lot of problems. It mitigates a lot of assumptions, as well as this whole we are family thing is where we can emphasize on how everyone should take a joint sacrifice so no one needs to lose their jobs. Because, everyone has their own family to take care of and we don't want that to happen.
Understand. But in your opinion, how will the way we do business or the business model will evolve after this COVID-19?
I think there will be acceleration of digitization. This whole digitizing has been a big buzzword for a while. But whether businesses really jump 2 feet in, I think not because we're always so busy making money and planning business strategies, and then we always kind of put this aside. So I think it would really accelerate things as we are seeing things now already, online sales, delivery. But I believe after this, the acceleration will actually shift into day-to-day operations as well. How we actually adopt technology into managing our outlets and making ourselves more efficient. And the keyword would be lean. How do we keep our operations lean, our cost structure lean using technology? And that way we can actually weather through challenging times like this. Because challenging times like this, most important when you've got no revenue or very limited revenue, is cost really, is how you manage your cost. So if you have a very lean structure, then your odds of surviving increases significantly. So, and with a very lean structure, you also become very agile. So, I mean, history has shown that it's not through evolution, right? It's not the strongest that survives. Like the dinosaurs are gone, right? It's those with the ability to adapt. Look at like the cockroach like that. So if we have the ability to adapt, then we'll be able to survive.
Totally agree. Then the other thing will be at these difficult times, for entrepreneurs, this will be I would say this will be the best time, or this will be the most prevailing time that we can show our leadership. For you, what does it mean to you, a good leader?
I think you have to lead by example. You have to walk the talk. I think talk is cheap. It's very easy to record a video, send a message out, but people must be able to feel it and see it at the same time. So just like how I said, if we require everyone to voluntarily have a joint sacrifice or a pay cut, then the top has to start from the very top, that demonstrate it in that manner. And as well as we all know that salary is a very sensitive thing. So the company must also showcase all the different efforts it has done to actually ensure the survival of the company. And this needs to be communicated to the staffs. Because one of my mentors actually told me that if only we sold our company as hard to our staffs like how we sell it to investors or even potential investors, right?
Okay.
It would totally change their mindset of things. So do we spend time selling to our staffs about the companies, what are our plans, what's ahead? And because they are the one that's going to power it, right? Without them, we're nothing at the end of the day. So I think as a leader, humility is very important. Compassion, empathy. You must be able to realize that, yes, of course, we are responsible over the cents and dollars, but we also must realize that we are dealing with people's livelihood here and how we can actually minimize the disruptions in their lives. That's why one of the key instructions that I gave to our people and culture team is to ensure that they have clarity on how to manage their finances in a period like this. Tap on to whatever announcements that the government may have, be it on the EPF drawdown or be it on the moratoriums or any loans that may to tide them through. So a lot of them, even though they heard from the news, but they're just not too clear. So we have to do our part.
Okay. So, Ken, for you, how will the impact be should the MCO be extended until end of April? Of course, this is a assumptive question.
Actually, in fact, I've already communicated this to the staffs. I think they need clarity, especially in uncertain times like this. I told them that honestly, there's so many, and it's okay to not know. I think a lot of leaders feel that they need to look like they are know-all, right? Yeah. But I think being honest in times like this, instead of looking like you're some form of a superhero, it will be more real and more genuine and something they can relate to. So my honest answer to them was, I do not know. One time I do not know would be because things are moving so fast. We do not know how the virus situation will happen. We don't know if the government is going to announce another stimulus package to actually help us out. Even EPF said that they will be making their restructuring announcement on the 15th of April. So there's a lot of all this. So we have to, and because currently we're also applying a lot of loans that government are giving, the 3.5 to 3.75%, I would encourage all entrepreneurs to please go and apply for it, because this will definitely help us through. I know the whole debt thing may be scary, but what's scarier is if you don't have a company to sustain over time. So liquidity is important. So it really depends on the loans. It depends on the government stimulus package, what kind of subsidies they can provide for. So we'll factor all that in and then communicate to them how would that impact them on a day-to-day basis, be it from are we going to open, how are we going to manage our cash flow, or how is it going to hurt their own salary as well.
Understand. So talking about stimulus package, what are the things that you hope government can support SME on?
I think number one is definitely direct wage subsidy. I've spoken at length about staffs. We need to keep our people employed. SME employs millions in our current market in Malaysia. So what we really hope for is direct wage subsidies, just like what has been done by our neighboring countries. That would keep the staffs employed. Second of all, will be direct wage subsidy. An example, if let's say the government were to even take up a 30% or one third of the salary, we take on 1/3, and then let's say the staff take on the 1/3 voluntarily. It will make a world of difference already. We will be able to sustain everyone's job. So besides that, I hope that they would loosen their regulations on the soft loans and increase their budget in that manner, because at times like this, we really need to ensure that the SME owners have enough money to keep their salary paid and also manage rental and whatnot. And of course, talking about rental, we hope that the government can follow the footsteps of Spain or France, where they actually have a 6 months freeze on rental, utilities, and tax installments. I know that the government has given the 3 months tax installments, but 3 months, honestly, I think it's still going to be very tough. Any recovery of this whole virus to what it was before easily would be 6 months. So 6 months freeze on rent, utilities, and tax installment. After all, the government has given the moratorium of 6 months of the loan. That will already ease the landlords significantly. Hopefully that they can pass it on to us.
Understand. Yeah. Well, yeah. Let's hope for the best. And Ken, just now you were sharing with us some of the promotion that you are doing. For example, 100. You top up 100. Later on, you can spend it at the outlet for $150 worth of consumption. So now I want to bring back to the marketing strategies. What would be besides that? What would be some other marketing strategies that you all have to really attract your followers, your fans back to consuming?
I think the keyword right now is value.
Value.
And honestly, it has not changed since before COVID, before crisis. It's also value. Now it's also value, even more so. But it's just the way and our platform to deliver the value. So the only way you can keep customer is if they see value in your products or your services. So right now we're just offering it via digital or via delivery. So it's very important to design it around the user experience, and be customer obsessive. The word is obsessive. So if you're obsessed about your customer, about how you engage with them, and how you, like I said, you design their user experience, I think that they will stay with you. So the keyword is value. You got to ask yourself, how is your product and how's your services adding value to the customer in times like this? So just like why is it that we decided to introduce Guinness Draft deliveries? Because there's just so much demand out there, because people crave for draft. So this is where we say that there's a value attached to it. So what is in any scenario, especially more so in moments of crisis, it's an oppo threat situation. When there's threat, there's opportunity. It's like yin and yang, basically. So you got to keep an eye out and watch what is the gap in the market, and then you focus on delivering that value. And then it's all about communication, really. Because if you're delivering value, you got a great product, great service that fits them, that they need right now. then you got to step up on your communication. If not, who knows of your product, right?
Correct.
So this stepping up of engagement is very important, so that they constantly have your brand in their mind. Especially more so when the market eventually reopens. The market will reopen eventually. So, and they're so free now. I mean, most of them are constantly on their phones, on social media. It's like prime time 24/7, right? So if there's no better time, it's like Super Bowl 8 advertisement now. So you just got to step up an engagement level. People are hungry to engage with you. Curate exciting contents, ensure that it's relevant to them, and take it from there.
Yeah, that is very important. But of course, the most important thing that holds dear to both of our heart is because, like for example, Entrepreneur Insight, our motto, our tagline is entrepreneurs growing entrepreneurs. This time around, I mean, I'm sure through your circle of friends, as much as mine, I would say majority of the SME are suffering, and majority of entrepreneurs, they are still finding their way out to have a more clarity and more strategic kind of solution to deal with. And with so much uncertainties, a lot of questions keep popping up to them. What if MCO open up, business, the demand side did not come back? What should I do? Should I maintain my sales force and whatnot? So what would be maybe you can share some of your experiences as well as some of the advice that hopefully can inspire them to get through these very challenging times. I would say this is a once that happened every 100 years. The last time that it took place was a Spain flu that was more than 100 years ago. So Ken, would you want to motivate and inspire our entrepreneurs audience out there?
Definitely something that holds dear to you and me on this, especially we ourselves through blood, sweat, tears.
Correct.
To whatever that we have managed to achieve thus far. So for me, what I would say is in times like this, it's very important to take 2 steps back to reflect. And so what I want to say is we are in the era of 4G going to 5G. Okay, now remember this 2G, okay? So what is this 2G? It's gratitude and grit, right? So,
gratitude and
grit.
Grit.
Yeah.
Oh, grit.
G-R-I-T.
Oh, grit. Okay, all right.
Not giving up. Yeah.
All right.
So what I can share, so at times like this, take 2 steps back to reflect on this 2G. Go back 2G, slow things down a little bit. The first G, gratitude, which is, I think times are tough, and I think times will get even tougher. So the only thing that through my own experience of the different kind of challenges and pitfalls that I've been through, I found out there's nothing stronger than gratitude. It's every day waking up, thinking of probably simply a simple exercise of what is the 3 things that I'm grateful for. It could be that we are alive. It could be that we have roof over our head. It could be that we have our loved ones by our side. So there's really a lot of things that we can be grateful for. So these things really empowers us and our soul. I think at times like this, when there's so much uncertainty and fear, what we need to turbocharge our body with positivity, and nothing beats the practice of gratitude. So what I would strongly encourage the entrepreneurs out there is to practice. When you wake up, write down, take a journal or just take a paper or even your phone, write down 3 things you're grateful for. And also before you go to sleep at night, you write down what are the 3 things you're grateful for today.
Powerful.
Of course, at times like this, it seems very hard to find something to be grateful for, but there definitely is. For example, be it our parents are well, we have food on the table, we have staff that are loyal, they are still with us. So there's or even, let's say, government stimulus, or even a friend, or even mentors, or even having Entrepreneur Insight, to share all these videos that will allow them to some form have a light in dark moments like this. So that is the first G, gratitude. The second G is grit, right? So grit is the tenacity, is the spirit of never giving up. I think this is relatively inborn in a lot of what we call hardcore entrepreneurs, but it's times like this that really test our grit. If you watch what's the robot show already? The Real Steel. Yeah, Real Steel.
Oh, okay, the Real Steel.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman on.
Hugh Jackman, so, the Wolverine.
Yeah, you see the robot. The robot is not the strongest. He looks very weak some more and always get beaten, but he just keep coming back up. So the world favors those that never give up. So I think right now they really need to, take an hour, rewatch the Real Steel, and realize that life will beat you down. That's just how life operates. Life never gets easier. We only get stronger. So we just gotta keep standing up. Because if we keep standing up to all these challenges and we survive to live to fight another day, that's exactly how we weather it through. We start by doing the small little things that we can, and then before we know it, it's over. The storm is over, and we are back to calm seas once again. So 2G, all right?
2G.
Gratitude and grit.
Gratitude and grit is very powerful, these two words. Especially grit is something that I hold dearly to myself also, because it's about what you say, tenacity and perseverance. And sometimes, somehow, in business, in entrepreneurship, it's about 4-7, rise 8. And this so happen is one of the bigger crises that I think most of us younger entrepreneurs have ever faced. And if we can go through this crisis, we will come back probably 2 times, 5 times, or 10 times stronger. So with that, thank you for your sharing and thank you for your time. Really appreciate it, Ken, especially on the gratitude side. I'll start doing that already every day. Count my blessing on 3 things that I'm grateful of, and of course to keep reminding ourselves to have grit, and for sure we will be able to go through this challenge. Thank you very much again, Ken.
Thanks, KK, for this opportunity.
All right. Thank you. See you again.
Stay safe.
Okay, stay safe.